Huh, that's weird.
You're live.
I guess I am. It's showing me an ad because I'm not subbed because...
Hi, everybody.
And the title of the stream is still coming up as Century Spice Road.
Thought I fixed that. I can fix that.
Hi. We're trying to fix some things. Like on the screen it says painting Fallout board game figures, but then down below it's creative, but it says Century Spice Road. We're not going to be playing that for several more hours.
Yeah.
We are going to play Century Spice Road, just not until later tonight. Right now, I am going to be painting this dude here. My little buddy, my little Supermutant buddy here. Let's try and focus. Which one is the is it the silver button?
Yeah.
There we go.
Nope. Yep. There you go. Went back out.
Yeah. It's hard to do. So the problem right now, and the reason why I'm having trouble sort of figuring out whether I'm in focus or not, is because the feed that like shows me immediately what's going on is way over there at the end of the table, because we're using a laptop camera to film me, and it's way over there where we have our soundboard and everything, and I'm way over here, and I have the feed up on my computer, which it has like a 4 or 5 second delay, so I'm having to focus and then hope that I've focused in the right place. I can't quite tell if he's in focus from this distance. I don't have the best eyes in the world, I'll be honest. There he goes. Yeah, he was in focus for a second there. So this is my Supermutant friend. I am not super happy. I did some work with him last week. I was not up for streaming last week, but I did some work on him. Unfortunately, the work that I did on him, I kind of messed up this little bit right here. Not super happy with that. You can tell like the paint bled all over the place. I got water, like a drop of water ran down my brush. I hadn't dried my brush enough before picking paint up, and it got everywhere. It got everywhere. So I'm gonna have to clean him up a bit, redo his little kilt. But I am happy with how the rusted, like barbed wire on his shoulder came out. I'm pretty happy with that. I have found a fairly good way of doing sort of rusted metal like that is actually to paint first with the like rust red and then highlight with the silver and do a very light coat of silver over it. That way you only get a little bit of the metal peeking through, and mostly you get rust where rust would have settled. So,
and do a very
that's gonna, yeah, there we go. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. We're gonna work on his little skirt. We're gonna work on his feetsies, his little toes. Work on his super sledge. And then once I've sort of got him to a point where I need to let him sit for a little while, we're going to start working on, actually I think I'm going to work on the Wastelander first. She's got this like double-barreled shotgun sort of thing going on. She's got this skirt and a hood and a hat. She's got a lot of detail on her. So yeah, I think I'll do her next. But first we're gonna work on Mr. Supermutant here. So he's gonna hang out right here while I get my paints settled. We'll lie him down. You guys can take a look at him. I did pretty much finish my Vault Dweller last week. So I think he's, I'm pretty happy with him. Yeah, he's in decent focus there. Got him to where I'm happy with how he's looking. I'm not super thrilled by the fact that when I turn him like this in a nice close-up shot, you can tell that like I can't quite get in there with the black. I don't love that. But I can't get in there effectively with the brushes that I have, so it'll just be in shadow. But I am pretty happy with him for the most part. He was tricky in places. I like how the pouches came out. The wash really did a nice job. I like the how his back turned out. I do want to do a little bit of touch up right there. Some of the yellow got on the side of his strap there, but that's just a little bit of brown. I'm going to be using brown for a lot of other parts of this. These are dirty, dirty Fallout characters, so brown is kind of a constant. So yeah, here we go. I'm going to get some paints out. That's a brown I want. So the Supermutant, these like bits and pieces that he has hanging off his skirt, sort of, they're supposed to be like chunks of car door and stuff from what I can tell. When I'm looking at the picture that I was able to find of him, they're like brightly colored but also metallic and rusted. So they've got some like, I'm going to detach this camera and take a look at it. They've got these bits here. You can see these like panels. So you can see they've got like paint on them. They're obviously parts of something. They were like a gas cap, or, you know, they were metal panels from some other thing. And so I'm going to have to be playing a little bit with how to get that effect just right. So that's my plan. I need to like repaint those a little bit. That was what I was trying to do, and I messed him up and ended up with like all this orange paint all over the place. So I'm going to have to redo his little like kilt bit.
I'm going to start some background music for you.
All right. I'm going to leave my Supermutant picture up on my laptop. Got a friend I'm chatting with on there. And we'll just get to painting.
Sounds cool.
I'm going to work hard to like keep myself in shot today. I'm going to work hard to keep myself on camera. I need to like make like a little box for myself so that I know where my some like gaff tape or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need like a little frame so that I know when I'm in camera. This is my low point. It's like right here. So that's where I need to. Yeah, if I can have just a piece of tape, just so I know when I've moved off camera. I really should be staying like here-ish. Because any further than that, and it really isn't like visible. Yeah. Thank you. All right, thank you. Okay. That looks horrible. Oh, he even got me like Fallout music to listen to. It's so good. So we are listening to Miracle of Sound which is a mostly one-man production. Gavin Dunn, a musician out of Ireland, is the main person behind Miracle Sound. He brings guests in. He finds like people he really enjoys hearing and whose voices he really likes, and like asks if they want to collaborate with him. So a couple of his songs he has some guests on, but mostly it's just him. Mostly it is just the one guy. I have had the pleasure of seeing him live twice. He doesn't play live shows really, especially not in the US, but he was one of the Escapist contributors for a long time, and before the Escapist kind of imploded. Before the Escapist went really downhill and then imploded, he was a content creator on the Escapist and would make songs that would premiere there. And so he was at both Escapist expos, both of their little conventions, and we went to both of those conventions, and we got to see him live. And he is amazing live. He is absolutely astounding. And I love his music. His music is really good. And he does video game and movie-inspired music as well as original creations. So this is one of his Fallout songs. He's got Wasteland Soul, which I really enjoy. So we're going to try and figure out what to do with this guy's. So I already have these. Oh, oops. Alright. Got some good browns here. Because he's like, this loinclothy thing, it's ugly. It's sort of this, like, it's almost like he found, like, a tarp and wrapped it around his waist. Which is probably what he did, because, let's face it, Supermutants, in general, Supermutants are not fashionistas. The notable exceptions being Swan, who really knows how to accessorize. If you haven't played Fallout 4, Swan is, spoilers, Swan is a supermutant who lives in Boston Common. And Boston Common has a canonical reason for being as tiny as it is in the game, which is that apparently it's been downsized and downsized and downsized and then developed, so that what's left is basically just like the stretch between Park Street and the State House. And that's it. There's a holotape you can find from the groundskeeper being like, this is bull. They keep cutting my beautiful gardens down. Now I'm supposed to be the head gardener of something the size of a postage stamp. It's nonsense. I'm done. Which I think is really funny. But Swan is, he lives in a pond on Boston Common. And there's a big sign saying, caution, Swan. And he's a unique enemy. He's a unique super mutant behemoth. And he has armor made out of the swan boats, which if you have ever been to Boston, the swan boats are they're a tourist attraction. I can't say I don't enjoy them, but they're a tourist attraction. They're one of those things that people go on when they visit Boston, and they get their photo taken while they're on them, or they take photos of the swans and the turtles and the ducks and the pond. My mother and I went into Boston a little ways back and rode the swan boats because that's a thing. You know, we thought that would be fun to ride the swan boats. She did. My grandmother used to take me. My mother's mother used to take me when I was a little girl, and she had taken my mother when my mother was a little girl. So, yeah. I know there's another super mutant character. What's her name? What is her name? This is going to bother me because she is like, She has like a little hat. I'll figure it out. Anyway, is she a nightkin? Is she like one of those weird New Vegas? I bet she's a nightkin. I'll figure it out. She's got like a... Anyway, I didn't play New Vegas. It didn't do it for me. The flavor just didn't hook me like Fallout 3 did. Anyway, Swan is wearing armor made out of swan boat fragments. What's up?
Ed is going to be coming up here pretty soon.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we're going to paint for a little bit, and then Chad, who used to work for the store and still does a lot of stuff for the store, is going to come and make a lighting or make a camera rig for us up here. Because we've been operating with a camera suspended on a tripod, like packing taped to the ceiling.
Yeah.
Maybe not the most high-tech of things. Annie, there's a female super mutant in one of the earlier Fallout games, and she's got like a little hat, and she talks to you. Is she a nightkin? Who is she? What is her name? Is she in New Vegas? I can't find her name, and it's really bothering me. It's really bothering me now. Because I was like, super mutants aren't usually fashion these days, but the exceptions being Swan and her, and now I can't. Lily. It's Lily. Lily. Yeah, Lily has like... Yeah, you got a little sun hat in her dress. Lily Bowen. Let's look at Lily. There's Lily. Look at her. So yeah, Lily and Swan are really like the only super mutants where you're like, man, you guys like actually care about what you're wearing. Otherwise, these guys just sort of take garbage and wrap it around themselves and hope for the best, I guess. I mean, that's super mutants, so I know that's true. But the Swan doesn't work. My mother and I went on a couple of years ago, and we were just sitting in front of a couple of American couples. They also have a teenager. The teenager had refused to go on the swan boats. And the parents were like, so we want to embarrass the teenager. Like, they think we're being super racist on swan boats. But we want to go on and get on. And they refused to come. We wanted them to come on it. So we were going to wave. And my mom and I were like, do you want us to wave too? And so we all waved at the incredibly embarrassing racist. Maybe not the nicest thing, but you know, it's all in good fun. Like everyone's embarrassed. Teenager. So yeah, let's repaint his little skirt here. It's like a dark brown. It's like really good. It's stuff that's going to be a paint, but I'm going to put on all these all it's all weathered. It's going to be a little bit harder for me to do. I'm going to have to do some highlighting on that to make that work. But I think I can do it. I'm probably working on better scenes for this. The worst part is I have this enormous box of things that I just got around. And sometimes there just isn't the right color. Sometimes I'll go downstairs and see like all the paints that are down there and be like, I'm really kind of annoyed though because I got the right color with a wash on him. And now I'm going to get out the kitchen. What's up? I'm going to go over this with a really dark brown. I have some going on. Let's fix our vault rollers. You can see right on his strap there. Some of the yellow. Just stand over here, friends. Yeah, see how I got all this like rust red all up in his business? I was trying to like get that rusty color on there. Just didn't work out. Made me very unhappy. Very disappointed in myself for doing that wrong, which is silly. What's up?
Just the music's a little loud.
Okay.
Does it seem loud to you?
It didn't.
Okay. There we go.
Thank
Pretty
you.
good.
Cool. So I believe I heard that that Chad is here. Chad is our buddy who does a lot for the store. He used to work here, but he is a firefighter now. And he's going to build us a lighting, or not a lighting, I keep saying lighting rig. We are getting new lights, which I'm very excited about. But he's going to be building us a new camera rig for our overhead camera, which is awesome. So that's definitely an issue that we have had, is the overhead camera, which is tricky. The overhead is a tricky issue because you want it to look good. But you also, you know, don't want it in your face. So that means you need a camera that can focus from a distance. Water on that somewhere. You know, I did a wash on him the other day. I'm not happy with it. I'm really not. I don't know. I thought this guy would not be like super difficult. He's turning out to be a bit of a challenge. Like I didn't think he'd be like slap some paint here, slap some paint there. He'll be super easy. I didn't first see him being quite this annoying. Andy keeps joining us to adjust sound levels. But he's not mic'd, so you can't hear him. I think you can see him when he comes up the stairs.
I'm off camera.
No, but you could be seen when you come up the stairs. You're not invisible. You're just not mic'd. So I think I'm gonna actually go over his skin again, and I need to go over, like, there are things I need to go over. I wasn't careful enough. I was not in a great mood last week. I wasn't really in a great mood for painting. I wanted to do some painting, but it had been a really long day by the time I got here, and I was cranky. So I ended up, I painted, but I wasn't like feeling chatty while I was painting. I'll put it that way. I just wanted to paint in peace.
So Amanda, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
The sound levels are pretty good.
Yeah.
But you can't hear the music.
Nope. I mean, I can hear it.
Do you want me to turn it up at all?
No, I can hear it. Hey, Chad. Cool. It's going to be an exciting stream. Construction while filming. How's it going? Yeah. What are they doing? Gotcha. It's good. Library's good. The Wollaston Tea Station is closed for the next year and a half. That's right near where I work in Quincy. And my branch is now the shuttle stop. So it's been exciting. Yeah. So Chad's not mic'd. I'm mic'd. So you'll hear me responding to things about that. And it'll be like I'm talking to a ghost. But no, things are good. Did I tell you I'm in charge of that branch now? Yeah. Last time we spoke. Yeah, so it's been like a year now. And I'm feeling good about it. They bought me new tables. They are. They're like, do you want new furniture? And I was like, sure. I won't say no if you're offering me new furniture. Never say no to new furniture now. But... Alright. Yeah, I think I need to redo his skin. What did I use? Oh, I used this. I don't know what color this is because the label is entirely washed out. But it is the perfect Supermutant green. Check my paint. All right. Yeah, this is like, it's a good green for a Supermutant. There we go. And I mean, I'll have to rewash him, but that's fine. I don't mind doing another wash on him. You're on camera.
I am on camera?
You are, yeah. Right in the top left corner of the right hand section there, you can see there's like one shot of your legs up on the the acrobatics. Chad is usually instrumental in getting our booth set up at PAX East.
Which we might not have before this year.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Man. That's a bummer.
Black Light's not being no, you're not gonna have it this year.
Got stuff going on.
Baby.
That's right. That's a very good reason for not.
Even if the baby's waiting.
Yeah, no, too close to due date, I would assume. It's either baby imminent or baby just happened, and either one of those, you're gonna want to be there for that. So close, man. Six weeks is, it is close. My dad is an obstetrician, so I'm well aware of that sort of stuff.
And I'm bummed because I know Arena's going to get some special attention this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just got like permission to have the arena be like in its own space and everything. I'm so sorry, man. You may be able to come, like if you come in like one day or something, just to like say hi and like not set up, but actually like come in to say hi. I'm sure we could get you to do that.
I'm sure he does that.
Yeah. It's getting a chance to actually come in, yeah. What are you looking to do?
I'm going to wait till you do not have a paintbrush in your hand.
Thank you. Let me finish his arm. I went over him at one point. I was not in a great mood, and so I was being kind of sloppy, and I was trying to do like a coat of rust red first so that I could then highlight with the metallic so that the rust would be the dominant like color on things, and I got that rust red everywhere.
If it helps you, I believe you still have the daylight lamp.
We do, but I've found that it actually ends up being too bright on camera. It washes everything out, and the light is fine. I was not paying attention to how much water was on my brush, and it dripped down into the bristles and then watered down the paint, and it got. No, I wasn't being careful, and I ended up with like orangey paint everywhere, and that was.
I had chat minimized for some reason. You have a question in chat.
Oh, I do. Oh goodness. Hi. Sorry, I didn't see chat.
So, are you puzzling that?
Are you Huggy Nuts?
Yes, I am. I am Huggy.
Apparently this is Huggy Nuts. Well, now I know what I gotta call you. Huggy Nuts. What's that from?
Is
that a game?
What kind of rating is this podcast?
This is stream, and I don't think we have it marked as adult. So
I'll be careful.
thank you. Keep it like PG-13-ish.
So, in 2009, I was basic training for the military.
Okay.
And like always, drill sergeant said he wasn't dead.
Because that's part of it.
Required. So one of them said, never take orders from another drill sergeant.
Okay.
They said, if another drill sergeant tells you what to do, tell them to hug these.
Gotcha.
And so, wouldn't you know, the drill sergeant said, hey, go do this, and I told him
To do just that.
just that. And he kept walking, and about like 4 paces, he stopped and turned around and realized what I said. And it was a fun afternoon.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure that was an incredibly fun afternoon for you.
And I know exactly who it is that is questioning what hungry.
Excellent. Thank you very much for telling that story. That's fantastic. And you weren't mic'd for it, so like the chat may have picked a little bit of it up, but yeah, he says he does know who this is. If Thunder Speaks didn't hear that, he did tell me the story. All right, I'm gonna put him down, and my brush is also down, so you can bump things around if you need to. That's fine. That's fine. Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. This is what everyone tuned in for. Definitely. Yeah.
Huggy, I hope you enjoy the view.
He says nice knees. You get the backs of the knees, which is definitely the I am framed perfectly, by the way. It's kind of amazing. I'm like right there. I'm gonna take a break, drink my tea. You're it, yeah. Well, if you were the one who gave him the name, you would definitely know the story well.
So these are not statues, these are live work.
That sounds warm. That sounds really comfy, actually. Khakis. Yes, I see that now. Andy apparently texted me asking if I could see the chat, and I didn't respond because I wasn't looking at my phone. My phone's behind me. Well, I was paying attention to like my little Supermutant and his many flaws that are all my fault. Thank you very much. Go back to repainting my Super Mutants. Yeah, he's doing our new camera rig so that we can stop suspending our overhead camera with packing tape and a tripod packing taped to the ceiling. Because you know what? That's probably not safe. Probably not safe.
I know it's not one items.
That's very true. We'll have to do a special like shout out to you on like the podcast or something when we're at the con this year. Like this for Chad. Couldn't be with us. We'll give a shout out to the baby. It's gonna be awesome. Well, of course she is. I don't think there was ever a question about that. Did Derek prompt me to do some painting? So Derek is the one, I wanted to paint a couple of years ago, and I asked Derek if he would show me, like, give me some pointers and sort of get me started, and he said, yeah, definitely. I would love to teach you, you know, some painting stuff, and there are people in the store who will be more than happy to, like, give you tips and help you out whenever you want to. So he's sort of who got me started on the miniatures tag. So I can't change tags, but Andy can, and I will have him do that momentarily. Thank you. So Derek sort of is the one who taught me the basics, and I am using his paints because he said I could. And he leaves them here in the store, and I paint in the store. So what I started doing was I started by painting talisman figures. The Talisman board game has unique figures for each of the different character classes that you can use for the game. Thank you, Andy. And awesome. So I started by painting the Fallout figures because I figured they're all so different that they would give me a lot of variety to paint. They would do like they would let me learn a lot of different skills because they were so varied. And that's a lot of what I wanted. I wanted to be able to, like, experiment and learn a lot of different things. So that's what I started doing. And then Labyrinth came out, the Labyrinth board game. And that had some very nice figures in it as well. I'm gonna move my paint water over here. That had some very nice figures. And I wanted to paint those, so I started painting those. And at this point, I don't get to paint with Derek around that much. I'm usually painting on my own. But definitely it was watching other people paint in the store, Derek included, that really got me wanting to do painting myself. And having games that I really wanted to, like, have the figures all painted in. So, and then the Fallout board game came out, and that's what I've been working on for the past several weeks, is this guy. I only really get a chance to work once a week. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm still learning. I'm still relatively new at it, but I really do enjoy it. I find it to be a very relaxing thing to do, which, like, I'm working in such small scale a lot of the time that sounds silly to some people. Like, I'll show these to a friend and they're like, how do you do things so small? I'm like, well, it's not that bad. You focus in. And they're like, oh my God, I'd never be able to do that. I'm like, it's not really that bad. It's not really that hard. In terms of, like, focusing in, I guess if you've got the mindset for it. Do I have bees again?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Grabbing a camera for
Aha!
this is not the camera I want.
Sad?
It's the same size, right? Yeah. That'll be fine. I just want to make sure I get the right screws for the process.
Makes sense.
So, tell Thunder
Yes.
that I added the painting and miniatures tags, but I have to remove them when we are not painting miniatures.
Yes, okay.
Misadvertising.
Yeah, we're going to be doing, so Andy points out that he added the miniatures and painting tags, but also that we need to remember to take them off when we're not doing that, because we do board game nights on Friday nights. And so if we don't want to misadvertise. But yeah, I get very sort of focused in, but I enjoy talking while I'm painting sometimes. So yeah, same thing. I just sort of zone in on my my painting, and having it on stream gives me something to do while I'm painting, which is nice. Just fun. So yeah. Yeah, definitely. We always want to make sure we update the tags and they are accurate to. I watch a lot of streaming. I don't watch as many creative streams, but I watch a lot of video game streaming and some board game streams. I have a couple of streamers that I'm subbed to and that I follow fairly regularly. Hey, thanks, Travis. Travis resubbed. Yeah, it is. We had him do our subscription noise when we got affiliate. We thought that was a good one for the subscription noise. So yeah, we've got, looks like his skin is looking good. I caught a couple of places where I didn't catch before. Oops. Where he wasn't as clear. I'm definitely happier with the Fallout figures, because these are well, you caught it in time, Travis, because it marked it as a 2-month resub as opposed to like a new Twitch Prime sub. So you caught it in the, like, it has like a buffer zone of a couple of days when it runs out, and it allows you to resub without breaking your streak. Not as big a deal for our stream because we're affiliate, not partner, and so we don't have like sub badges that change as you've got a longer streak. However, if we ever do hit partner, which is a ways in the future, but if we ever were to, I believe people who subbed during affiliate, their streak counts towards whatever badge changes would happen. So yeah. If you leave it too long, it resets. I know that from having watched a fair number of partnered channels, that if you don't catch it within like a few days of it running out, it doesn't maintain the streak, it breaks the streak. Which is annoying. Though a couple of the channels that I follow have really, really fantastic communities, full of very, very generous people who will find people whose subs have run out and gift them subs in between so that their streaks don't break, which is really sweet. Thanks, Travis. Yeah, I'm good at info dumping, especially when it's just me and chat. And I don't know if you caught it, Travis, but Chad's here putting up a new camera rig above my head. I think you might have missed the part where like his legs were framing me like right in front of the camera. But we're gonna have like an actual rig up above us as opposed to packing tape and hope. Very excited about that. All right, he's looking better. I am very happy with the rags on his shoulders. They are pretty much exactly the way. Yeah, I painted last week on Saturday. I just didn't paint on stream because I was cranky. And cranky streamer, not fun. Not good times. Unless that's like the persona that you're building, but that's not the persona I'm building. I am not a Dr. Disrespect. Not my thing. Not what I want to do. So yeah, he's looking good. I'm gonna end up having to do some highlighting on his little chest piece. So. Yeah, it's a super mutant. He's big and green. He's got this super sledge. I gotta look up a nice picture of a super sledge so that I can see what goes where. And so, yes, very, very large orc. So Travis will be joining us on our board game streams. Travis is one of our regular co-streamers on Friday nights for board games. Are you joining us tonight, Travis? We're playing Century Spice Road, which I have. Wait. Century Spice Road. Century Spice Road. Sci-fi orc, right. Are you joining us tonight? Because if so, you'll get to see this, he's not a sci, I guess he is a sci-fi orc. So. Post-apocalyptic orc. Awesome. Yeah. So, let's see if I can figure out how to do these panels. They're supposed to be metallic. Ooh, what if I did like copper? What if I did like a really dirty copper? Or if I added brown to shadow steel. Most recent time check now. Excellent. Well, we will look forward to seeing you. We're a little nervous that Century Spice Road is going to end up being like Splendor. And we'll all end up sitting there staring at it, saying nothing. So if we can get Derek on the stream, which would be really nice, I could sit out and be the table friend and actually talk while everyone concentrates on the board. Yeah, I like alternate history. I like alternate future because it's a future set game set in an alternate timeline, but it's set ahead of us, like date-wise. So that's usually how I describe it, as alternate future. I think it diverges in like 1940 something, 1950, somewhere around there. I think he's looking pretty good. Yeah, he's looking pretty good. I think I'm gonna use some brown for the wrappings on his feet. I looked at a bunch of Super Mutant feet. So Super Mutant feet, you can actually find quite a lot of pictures of Super Mutant feet, which makes me vaguely nervous, but you can find a lot of pictures of Super Mutant feet online. And these rags, these rag wraps. Yeah, the Splendor, when we did Cities of Splendor, we all sort of sat there and stared at the board for a while and realized very quickly that we would have to have someone sit out and actually commentate on the game. But yeah, it'll be fine. How many players is this supposed to be? 2 to 5 players. We could have like, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So anyway, yeah, he's got these rag wraps on his feet. And all of the pictures of Super Mutant feet that I found had like leather sort of wrappings around. No, so they actually, the models that they have in the game, they're not specific named characters. So there's not like a strong specifically. So he's just sort of a super mutant. Modiphius, when the war game comes out, when the Modiphius figures come out, they, I believe, are going to have specific named character figures. So that'll be nice. But the board game figures, they're just like, it's like, here's a Brotherhood outcast. And I'm really happy with how he came out. But he's just a Brotherhood outcast. Here's a Vault Dweller. And I'm happy with how he came out too. Bye, Chad. Oh, that's awesome. Mm-hmm.
One bolt.
Yep. And lower or...
And lower.
Oh, awesome.
Every axis is covered.
I love it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know that there are specific named character figures coming out in the Modiphius game. And yeah, I love Strong in Fallout 4. I don't travel with him as much because I end up traveling more with Deacon and Hancock. Hancock's like my bud. Yeah, Andy, you just gotta go punch things. You just have to go like hit things with Strong and you'll be good. I got his perk. I traveled enough with him to get his perk. But I don't travel with him as much because yeah, like I said, I end up traveling with Hancock and Deacon and McCready. Yeah, I did the characters' stories, definitely. Nyx took like the longest because you have to visit all of those different police stations, and some of them, like one of them's in Quincy, and you're like, well, gotta go deal with the gunners in Quincy, and one of them's got like a mini nuke, and I gotta go deal with that nonsense, and one of them's in a suit of power armor. Duncan? Isn't that McCready's son? That's McCready's kid, right? Yeah. But it's like, once you, like, early on in the game, you can't go hit Quincy. You gotta wait until you can hit Quincy. Quincy's not, like, a low-level place to go. You meet Nick way before. Like, so I just started a new playthrough because I love Fallout 4. So I just started a new playthrough of Fallout 4, and my character is she's like level 7? Right? No, she just went up to level 8. I should probably take that level up. Anyway, she's still low level. You know, like, mole rats are not cool right now. Mole rats are okay. Raiders can be uncool. I met up with some gunners, and they kind of kicked my ass. I was trying to go to Grey Garden because Grey Garden has all that mute fruit, and you can just take all the mute fruit you want there. They don't care. And then you can use it to plant at your other settlements. It's far more effective to farm mute fruit than it is to farm any other crop. Like, why would I plant anything other than mute fruit in my gardens and in any of my settlements? No, everyone eats mute fruit, that's it, that's all you get. Because it's one food per plant as opposed to half a food per plant. So if I plant like 9 of them or 4 of them in a planter plot, then that's 4 food right there. And I can get any one settler to farm 6 spaces I guess I mean, I don't play the game on hard or anything, so I find plenty of adhesive. I don't really have as much trouble, but in terms of like food, if I'm trying to feed my settlers, they get meat fruit. So I was trying to get down to Grey Garden early so that I could, I was trying to get down there to get the mute fruit, because I was like, I'm just gonna go grab that and then I can plant that at 10 Pines Bluff and I can plant it at Sanctuary and like I can eventually plant it at Starlight Drive-In. And then I'm good to go. I don't need to do their quest yet. I can just like go steal all their fruit. And there were gunners like right on the path. So yeah. Yeah, you know what? If you're doing that sort of stuff for your settlers, that would require a lot of adhesive. You would need a lot more than I ever need. I'm gonna try and mix some sort of rusty metal. I'm gonna mix copper and oil. I feel like I'm always out of. And you can't even make that. Like, I feel like adhesive, yeah, you can make. And I usually do have, like, there are a couple of settlements that come with crops already planted, so I usually have enough, like, corn and stuff to make that work. You can make oil. What do you make oil out of? I don't think I've ever tried. You make it out of bone? Oh yeah, this is a good, nasty, coppery color. Excellent. This is exactly what I wanted. You need bone. Oh, in the chemistry station. I know you can make cutting fluid. I don't think I've ever tried though. Is cutting... I don't use the chem station. Okay, yeah, I've been ignoring bones. Third playthrough and I've been ignoring bones. Yay, learning new things. It makes me happy. I love learning new things about cutting fluid as oil. I've never bothered making it. Excellent. I just feel like I'm like always like paint cans. Gonna get all those paint cans because the paint cans will give me oil. Ah! Sorry about that. I just made this incredibly ugly, like, dirty copper. We're going to use that on all these panels. Yeah, I mean, I definitely find a lot of bone. I just usually leave it, but I won't be leaving it now. I actually just cleared out Fallon's department store in my second game, because for whatever reason I had ignored it in my initial playthrough. I don't know why. I think I just, like, never bothered to go in there. I was like, oh, right, Fallon's. It's got, like, a bunch of junk in it. I might as well go clean it out. I've got a Gauss rifle. I can one-hit kill pretty much anything at this point. So I have this ridiculous legendary Gauss rifle in my first playthrough. It's nonsense. Yeah, screws are a pain. Fans, you want fans for screws, but they're heavy. Yeah, screws are hard. What was I saying? I was saying something. I'm sure it was super important. Yeah, general stores will do it. Oh, I was saying about my my amazing Gauss rifle. So I got this legendary Gauss rifle, and it does extra damage, like bonus damage on like sneak attacks. So I was tooling around Far Harbor, like you do, and happened upon a what's it called? Hermit crab in Far Harbor, and I was like, don't like, and I hadn't been using this Gauss rifle because I didn't have a lot of the like little electromagnetic ammo for it. I just didn't have a ton of it, so I hadn't really equipped it. I was using unlimited potential, which I had modded up to be pretty buff. But I was like, I can either nope out of this situation and just move away from this hermit crab and not bother it, and hope that it doesn't bother me, or I can see which of my weapons will do the most damage on it, because it hasn't seen me yet. So I have choices so far. So I went through all the weapons I had on me, and I had quite a few because I was wearing my power armor, and so I was carrying like a whole arsenal with me. Because Far Harbor's got a lot of radiation, as you might have noticed, and I don't like rads, so I was nice and protected against them. So, oh yeah, that's exactly the dirty sort of metallic I wanted for this. Nice, yeah. So, I take out this Gauss rifle, and I'm standing on top of like a shed, and I aim and I shoot the hermit crab, and I'm like, I gotta be prepared. He's gonna come after me. It's gonna like come out and like come after me. It's gonna be setting out like all the little like Mirelurk hatchlings. And so I shot it, and then it was dead. It was kind of a letdown. I was like, I was all prepared for a fight. I was prepared for a fight. And now it's dead. Well, I guess I'll go get it. I'll go get the meat. So I went and got the meat from it, and then was like, so basically I am death incarnate now with this nonsense that I have. So now I buy all the, yeah, Gauss rifles are no joke. So now what I do is I collect all the 38 that I can, because 38 sells for a cap a bullet. So I collect all the 38 that I can, and then I just sell it. Just sell it. It's basically free caps. And then I use that to buy more Gauss rifle ammo. I mostly use unlimited potential these days, just because I find the cartridges for it a lot faster. You know, you find the ammo for a laser rifle, a laser pistol, all over the place. Yeah, 38 is basically like extra caps. I also started doing the same with 45. I find 308 a lot harder to find. 308, 44, and the 72. I think it's 72. It's whatever the like the pump action takes that you find that they added with Far Harbor. That I find really hard to find. I just never find it, so I don't use any guns that need it. But yeah, as soon as I can get a Gauss rifle, I got a Gauss rifle in my second playthrough, and I was like, okay, good to go. Guess I tend to go for the big guns. And maybe that's what I'll do with my current playthrough. Maybe I'll just stick with small guns, and just up my my action points, and just be able to get off a lot of small shots. I took all the gun and science perks that let me do all the like weapon upgrades last time, and that turned out really nicely. Maybe I'll do that. But yeah, usually I get melee focus is hard but fun. I haven't done it, but I've watched a few playthroughs and it's hilarious. Yeah, all the Grognak. Do you wear the Grognak costume? So, fun story about the Grognak costume and the like Grognak stuff and melee. One of my favorite melee playthroughs is unfortunately stalled at the moment, but it's fantastic. It's Graham Stark from Loading Ready Run doing Agatha Fisty, who is the One Punch Gran, and she's a character that he made an old lady, and she goes around punching things, just 'cause. She doesn't really seem to care. He punched the entirety of the Brotherhood, just punched everyone on the Pridwen. Just went up there and punched everyone's lights out. Just killed them all, just punched them. He went to that nursing home that's up near Salem, that's got all the cats, and the synths show up when you're like upstairs. And the synths killed one of the cats. And he was like, okay, I found my purpose. I'm now gonna avenge these cats. And yeah, that's his whole purpose now, is to avenge the cats. So I'm feeling good about this metallic stuff I've got going on here. I'm gonna do a little bit of touch up around the edges. Yeah, you know the place. It's the one where like you find all their keys, and then you can open their safes, and they all like have tons of chems. Yeah, that he got there. So basically, he was letting like his chat tell him, like, give him some direction on what to do next. And he was like, "Where should I go, chat?" And they were like, "You should go east." So he went east until he found something to do, and the thing that he found to do was this this nursing home. And then the synths showed up, and the synths started shooting. Yeah, I mixed the copper with the shadowed steel, and it gave me this like dirty copper to it, which I think is perfect for the rusted metal like plates that I want to make them. It's perfect for like an undercoat for those. So now I'm redoing sort of the cabling that's tying them on. Yeah, I highly recommend looking up the Agatha Fisty videos. There are only a couple of them because he had a kid, and that eats your time away, doesn't it? And so Agatha is unfortunately on pause until he has a little more time in his life. But Agatha is hilarious, and Agatha just likes punching things. Agatha just wants to punch. And she's very good at punching. I'm pretty happy with how this is looking. Like I said, I'm gonna do some brown around the edges of his feet. Supermutant feet are weirdly easy to find. People apparently like Supermutant feet. So we're gonna say that he's using like some leather strapping to hold on his foot rags. I know, right? Yeah, the vlog isn't super regular now. I mean, being a parent takes time. And so I don't like resent that he's not updating stuff. I understand why. But it does mean that I'm not going to send someone to his stuff without explaining that he's not as regularly updated as he used to be. Alternate suggestion for tonight? The Supermutant feet? Yeah, that would be no. We're not doing a Supermutant foot stream. Weirdos. You are all weirdos. I have to turn him over. Sorry, he's upside down for everyone now. Except me. So it's kind of weird. I have, let's just play flip ships again. Flip ships for every stream. So here's the thing, Travis, the folks in the Saga store don't like flip ships. They're not into it. It's not their thing, I guess. Yeah, all flip ships, all the time. So, funny thing, I have a bunch of very small brushes. I've got this little guy, and I've got this little guy, and I've got this nonsense here. A little tiny brush. And yet I'm using this like ridiculous thing that I got at like Michael's. It just doesn't appeal to them. They just didn't enjoy playing it, I guess. Not every game's gonna appeal to every player, I suppose. I can't help but feeling bad, because I have a lot of fun with it. I think it's a great game. And it just doesn't do it for them. We played it with Andy's family when we did Andy's Family Christmas, and I guess it just didn't do it for Jam.
Yeah, but they're craft world and they're demons of pirate, or an X-Corsair.
I don't think it's even necessarily that it's a dexterity game. I think it just, that game didn't do it for them. More flip ships for me! Because that's how games work, right?
Well, yeah, that was just a stick card, right? So like game 40K is the god of war, but like it's just the god of murder. It was essentially a Flash clone.
I have never actually played Crokinole, but I've watched a fair amount of Crokinole. Since the Loading Ready Run folks play it on a not infrequent basis.
Like, the war of the Eldar gods is pretty much all Kate's fault, which like directly leads to Slanesh being spawned.
Oh, I have a theory. Wouldn't it be so sick when he tricked you? But that's like mine.
So you essentially have Skaven as a new faction that have
So what I'm trying to do is do like the leather bands, holding his rags on, holding his foot rags on.
Dude, as long as Space Skaven, I'm happy.
Yeah, they come through when they make a giant portal.
Are they still in Chaos side?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably take those two out.
But they're trying to just transcend chaos. That's the Skaven word. Not transcend.
I like how
I think the music ended, Andy. I did tell you that wasn't going to last super long.
So like you have the mortal plays.
All right. I'm pretty happy with how those like bands on his legs look. They shouldn't be super distinct. They should be on the more subtle side. I mean, the Supermutant in general is just going to be dirty. He'll be dirty. He's a dirty boy. I am going to look up. I want to look up Super Sledge and see what my Super Sledge is supposed to look like. Let's take a peek. Hey!
Music started.
I told you it would, because it was only like an hour
But I
long.
don't know why it's not repeating.
So it goes. Start it again now. Thank you.
Crokinole.
Yeah, Crokinole. We would play Crokinole. We would do that. Okay. I'm going to redo the rope around his waist. can look at his butt for now, guys. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, Travis. I do like Sledgehammer, but I kind of, Andy will know what I mean. Andy had a game for a while that played music videos, and they were like those sliding block puzzles, and you had to slide them around until you had the picture correct. But because they were music videos, things were moving all the time. And Sledgehammer, I think, was one of those videos. And Andy would play that level over and over, which meant I've seen that video and heard that song a lot. And yeah, we don't have a license for it. Whereas Miracle of Sound allows people to use his music for free, so long as they say that they're using his music and not trying to like claim credit for it. And I quite like VidGrid. That was the game. I quite like Gav. I quite like Miracle of Sound. So, all right, let's see if we can find a super sledge. Let's find a nice picture of a super sledge and see what it looks like. Ah, that's a nice one. Ooh, it's got a yellow handle? See, I never used a super sledge. Wow, so the handle back here is like yellow with an orange sort of stripe on it. And then it's metallic. It's that sort of dirty metal look to it. And this bit right here is yellow, and then everything else is like shadowed steel or like iron. Yeah, we don't really want our VOD muted, so. I think I'm going to mix a little bit more of that that dirty, coppery looking thing, because it does look like that, like tempered, like metal, that iron with the sort of patina on it. I think we're going to try and keep it a little bit more silver this time. There we go. That's what I want. Sorry, that was like completely off camera. I'm really happy with this color I mixed. Of course, I'll never be able to mix it like right again, looking good. I think that's exactly the color I wanted it to be. Because I'm going to end up dirtying it up with like a wash, so. Now I can do just plain shadowed steel on it. And that's going to be almost 4 o'clock. Better. The metallics I found, they tend to get plugged up. Just gonna name him Kurt. So Thunder Speaks, I don't know if I know you like in person, but you did offer advice on painting and stuff, so if I see you in person, please introduce yourself. So I know who that is. I do. I'm not always great with matching online names to like real life people. So it makes me actually like feel really shitty when I like don't. I often do. I haven't been assisting with Friday Night Magic in quite some time because I've been doing board game streams for the store, and so I cannot be doing board game streams up here on camera and be doing FNM assisting. Hey Andy, we appear to have some bees, which I cannot fix from where I am, seated at the table. I'm assuming Andy will be up to fix the bees in a moment. He is working on the register downstairs. Yeah, that's why I said, like, introduce yourself to me if I see you in person, so I will know. Yeah, we call that the bees, and it means that the soundboard needs to be, like, unplugged and replugged because we have some sort of audio glitch, which is really annoying, but because of where the soundboard is, and where I am, it is not very easy for me to fix. So Andy will have to come up and fix it. If he can't, I will have to unmic and go see if I can take care of it myself. Later, Travis. We will see you in the evening. Just a moment. So, Andy is not downstairs, so give me a second. This is going to be unpleasant because I'm going to hit my mic. I'm just going to take that off and put it there. So when I started painting these guys, when I started painting these guys, I actually like put on headphones and started listening to like a YouTube playlist of all the like radio songs from Fallout 3 and 4. It was very good at setting the mood. Did that fix the audio though? It's like around on the other side of the table. There's not like a good way for me to get to it from where I am. can't believe I gotta do some of this yellow. It's like, really? Yellow? Okay, fine. You should be pink. I wish I could give him a little hat like Lily has. I was saying earlier, super mutants aren't known for being fashionistas, except for like Lily and Swan. That's actually pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna get some black. Be the prettiest princess. I actually, at some point, I want to just like get one of the sparkly dresses, like the lounge singer in oh, it's not black. That's purple liner. That's not gonna be at all what I want. I would just want to get like the red sequin dress and just run around in that. Like that and a gas mask with a super sledge. And just like kill all the raiders. You could do exactly that. I would love to know if you do that. Please tell me if you do that. I want it to happen. So I tried to play like evil on my last playthrough. I was like, I'm gonna go with the Institute, I'm gonna go to Nuka World and like join the Raiders and like actually like take over some of my settlements with Raiders. I just won't do any settlement building. And I'll join the Raiders and like make settlements for them. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Become my home. Alone in a world of rust and ruin stand. Through gray civilizations, dust around, and my wasteland so inevitably to live home. My only remaining goal now to survive. The rains will come, wash it away. I am like so annoyed that I actually have to use yellow. I think we'll go with this yellow. Like it's definitely yellow. It's dirty, but it's yellow. Names of once great cities, broken houses with 2 halls of stone. Alone in the world of rust. Onwards into the unknown, and my heart hands into other things, to the visions of this mind in which I stand. And the winds will come and wash it away. So the reason I'm annoyed that this has to be yellow is because I find yellow to be the most annoying color to paint with. It pools annoyingly. It doesn't matter how much you shake it, it's always going to be not awesome when you pour it out. It's tough pigment to work with, but that doesn't surprise me. I tend to do my nails every week. I do them in different color every week. I enjoy painting my nails. It is, excuse me, right into my mic, sorry about that. It is the same sort of zen as painting is for me, in large part. And yellow is also a really difficult nail polish pigment. It's really hard to find a good yellow that doesn't go on streaky and sad. And need like a billion coats to look anywhere near halfway decent. And that's sort of what I've found is true for yellow paint as well. You can teach me how to paint yellow? Please do, because I feel like I need to do a base coat of like white underneath it, but even that's going to be a pain in the butt. And I didn't want to prime these guys in white because they were going to end up being so dark and dingy and dirty anyway. I felt like priming them in white was like a waste because I didn't want their colors to pop. It is my least. Yeah, they just have to be built up. I just hate like how I just don't like them. And I did feel like it was a waste to try and prime in white for this. And I don't really want the yellow to pop. Like, I don't want it to be a nice bright yellow. It's supposed to be a dirty, dingy yellow. Exactly, yeah. So you gotta go on thin and just build up. Like I said, I do my nails, and the same thing is true of nail polish. If you try to go in too thick from the outset to like try and get opacity in one coat from a nail polish that can't support that, then tan, light brown or tan, that's a good idea. I mean, moot point now because I already started with this guy, but I will keep that in mind the next time I have to use this hell color. So there's a talisman figure, the Alchemist. The Alchemist? I think it is. And he's got this like jeweled robe. Undercolors do matter. He's got this like jeweled robe, and it's supposed to be this like shimmery golden orangey color. Giant pain in the butt. Yeah, metallics do look really good over dark. One of the things that I found when I started painting was having a background in doing nail polish really helped in terms of like knowing what was going to need to go on over something dark versus something light. Recognizing that some colors you were just going to need to play around with. Steady hand. Those were all very, very helpful. That's the way you make mirrors. So I know that mirrors are made with like putting things over another surface, but I did not know that. Very cool. Oh, we're gonna have to go back over him. This yellow handle is making me very angry. I think I'm probably gonna go for another 15 minutes. We'll finish getting this yellow on this dude. Super Sledge is looking pretty decent, I think, for like the base colors on it. It also got me, doing my nails got me used to like being like, nope, just gonna have to let that dry. And like understanding if I mess that up by like going over it too fast, like I only have myself to blame because I know better. I think he's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how that's going. I'm pretty happy with the progress I made on him today. I'm really happy with the color that I got for that, the head of that Super Sledge. That's making me really happy. Take that out of there so it's against black. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with that. That looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do now, the rope around his belt is supposed to be like a tan. So we're going to do that. Use leather brown for that. Yeah, I know that. One of my favorite little like things is knowing that explains why vampires can't, like in folklore, can't see themselves in mirrors. It's a silvered mirror. I don't know if that's like the reason, but I love sort of putting that together. Modern versions of vampire folklore are, oh yeah, of course they can't see themselves in mirrors. Mirrors use silver. Vampires being like, oh come on, there's nothing else you can use? Yeah. But then you're like, oh, well, it uses silver, so you could totally incorporate that into like current stories. Which I think is really cool. Have you seen What We Do in the Shadows? Speaking of vampires. It is a mockumentary made by Taika Waititi, who did the newest Thor movie. And it's like a mockumentary about vampires living as like housemates. It's hilarious. Highly recommend it. It's so funny. And they're like roommates. It's like they're housemates from like different eras. Yeah, I believe so, yes. I will look that up, but I believe you are correct in that. And there's like a pack of werewolves that lives nearby, and they're all trying to like behave themselves. Werewolves, not swearwolves. Yeah, it's if you get a chance to see it, totally see it, because it's hilarious. I had been seeing like clips and GIFs and stuff from it on Tumblr for a while, and then one of my coworkers was like, yeah, you should just like check it out from the library and watch it because it's fantastic. And she was right. She was 100% correct. I think he's looking good. I think I'm like honestly really happy with how he's looking right now. There's that yellow. Now that I'm doing a second coat of the yellow. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how he's looking right now. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do a little bit of a wash over the little panels that are on his waist. And then I think I'm going to try it again, because he's going to need to dry, and I don't really have enough time to go playing too much with the other guys. I'm going to go back over this with a brown wash at one point. So there's still some things that I want to do with the rest of the model before, like some detail work that I want to do before I do a full wash over it. I want to do a black wash first on the metallic panels to darken them. Then I want to do a brown wash over. I want to do some highlighting. Then a brown wash, because if you look at like the actual pictures of the Supermutants, they're all dirty. And I feel like I tried a black wash on him initially, and it made him look a little too gray. So I want to do brown, but the metal parts I want to do nice and dark. So I want to darken them down a bit. So we're going to do that with a black, and I'm going to do a black on the Super Sledge. But there's still some stuff I want to do like on the body and stuff that I don't want to do a wash, like I don't want to have to do before, I don't want to have to do after I wash it. So we're going to do a wash on the Super Sledge. About that. I still think I'm going to go with brown. I may try a green, and we'll see. It's not like his skin is that hard to like redo if I mess it up. But they don't really, I want to highlight him first. There we go. I want to get that orange stripe on the Super Sledge at some point. I've thought about the green. Yeah, so I want to do, what I want to do is do highlights that are almost a little too highlighted and then wash over the whole thing. I have found that that works for me a little bit better. Because I can see when I do the highlights before I do the wash, it makes it easier for me to see how it's all going to look eventually. Like I'm taking everything down the same amount, if that makes sense. I'm dulling everything to the same amount. Yeah. Yeah, highlighting up after doing something for like the skin is definitely a good idea. But in terms of an overall wash, like when I do like to make him dirty, I want to have the highlights in place, because if I highlight up after the wash, I end up feeling like the finish is different. And while I am going to seal them, it ends up looking like I can tell where the paint is, and it irks me. And probably like no one else would notice, but I notice. I like how that Super Sludge is looking. I think he's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with him right now. I'll do, actually, I'm gonna do a wash on his feet right now. Just near the bottoms. Dirty that up a bit. Get that nice and shadowed because it's gray. Get that. Good there. So I did something really stupid when I did the vault dweller. I did a wash on him and I missed like, yeah, I'm gonna wash his feet. He's probably had a hard day, you know, he needs to soak his feet. I missed like his back right calf for whatever reason. My vault dweller. I don't know how I missed his calf. Just his back right calf. You don't judge. I appreciate that. We're not a judgy stream. If you like Supermutant feet, ghoul feet, I mean, I'm not gonna judge. Like I said, it was weird how easy it was to find pictures of Supermutant feet. Like I hadn't expected that to be a common thing that people wanted pictures of, but to each their own. Yeah, those are looking a lot more like they should. Ghoul feet have got to be just, because the skin's coming off. Like just the worst sunburned heel in the world, but on your feet. I've grossed everyone out, including myself. So these panel things here, they do have like paint on them, like they've got like turquoise and stuff like that. So we're gonna play around with that. That's what I want to do before I do like the full wash over the whole thing. I want to get those like tiny little details that if I go over them after the fact, they're just going to be way too bright. Ugh, stinky cheese. So yeah, it is 4:30 Eastern, and I think I'm going to call that a day. So hopefully Andy is available to come up and stop the stream for me. Because I haven't played with OBS, so I don't know what I'm doing with it. But we'll chat until he gets up here. I don't want to start on like the Ghoul or the Wastelander. I need to decide on a color scheme for her stuff. There's like a lot of options. Just leave it and let it run. Just like me sitting here on my computer, silent. Yeah, I need to come up with what colors I want to do that. I know like the picture on the card that comes with her is Piper. So like Piper's got that sort of reddish orange like trench coat that she wears. And I know that that's sort of supposed to be how this is. So I may go with that. I may make it like a sort of trench coat with torn sleeves, because she's got bare arms. So fun little story about letting people wonder what the hell is going on. Not this past year's Extra Life, but the year before. We left the stream running while we took a break, and because we had been playing stuff up in the loft, and Andy was going to make waffles, and I wandered up at one point in the wee small hours of the morning. I was very tired. I was exceedingly tired. And I was also wrapped in a sleeping bag because I was cold, because I get cold when I have not had enough sleep. And, which at Extra Life is sort of a thing. And so the camera was just like on nothing. And then there's me popping into shot going, "Hi." and then disappearing again. So Andy, I think I am pretty much done. If you want to come up and shut things down for me, that would be awesome. But yeah, I wormed my way up the stairs into the loft wearing a mummy bag, like one of those down sleeping bags that's sort of shaped like a mummy. And popped into shot, waved, and then disappeared. Make it end, Andy. But thank you. Well, I'm finishing up, so thank you for joining. And I hope you did too. Putting away my
All right.
paints.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for joining me.
Bye.